And so when you can entertain yourself, it doesn't, okay. All right, we got the live stream up and so when you can entertain yourself, it doesn't, okay. Cool. Sometimes I like listening to jokes twice. Could you guys hear that echo there for a second?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Hey, welcome to the Meshery Dev meeting. It's Wednesday, April 29th. One more day in the month. So get your sales quota in. Or ask your friends to star the repository. It's the end of the month, so we gotta hit our quota. We gotta hit our star quota. Who's looked at the stars on the project recently? Well, as of about 10 seconds from now, you all will have. Look at that. Ooh, baby. Sexy. Ooh, that's fine. Still healthy. It's just, she's got some curves. I guess that's one way of characterizing it. Who doesn't like curves? It's just, it'd be nice if it was curved back this way. So yeah, if you haven't started the repo, start. If you like the project and that's why you're here, maybe your friends do too. Maybe they want to give your project a star. Oh, yeah. Maybe their friends want to give the project a star as well. Spread the word. Tell folks. These it seems silly. It's like the like button, on some social media platform. The star on a repo is like the like button, and it gets used. In some respects, it's kind of silly because it doesn't necessarily mean anything other than maybe you just bookmarked the project or something. But that's a signal that gets used quite a bit, actually. Um, so it ends up being meaningful. Yeah, toss a star over. Unfortunately, you can only give one star. That's right. But be sure to give yours. Um, for those of you who are not on the call and can't hear me right now, you can drop your name into the send regrets. So Matthew is one of our maintainers. He's not with us today, but he's still with us. If you know what I mean, he didn't pass away. He's still with us. So he's just not with the meeting. Okay, it's going to be one of those meetings, I'm afraid. So good. So we've got Sir Yanch, and there he is. He's got his name in the meeting minutes. Very good. Just a spot check randomly, not calling out Mr. Garg for any particular reason. Okay. So we record the meeting and we put it on YouTube. And so, if you missed something, feel free to catch it later. There's a Meshery YouTube out there. One of the things that is just a good note to make, maybe a little more often than we do, is it's not just these meetings that are out there, but it is also, I'm going to bring this up at the risk of, okay. It is also the fact that there is a collection of pre-recorded contributor trainings. So it wasn't too long ago that there were maintainers from each and every component within Meshery that went and recorded contributor training. So they each created a slide deck. They each held an hour-long training on how, like an introduction to Meshery CLI, how to work with it, how to understand its code base, Meshery server, Meshery UI, relationships, like the whole list. And on the homepage, there is a curated playlist somewhere.
Lee, there is a small correction. I think for the maintainer series, you have that in the layer 5 YouTube channel,
Oh, I see.
whereas we have the development meetings and our live streams here.
So we did that as a community-centric thing then. So Layer 5 IO. All right, good. All right, so it is here. Ooh, ooh, just what you all wanted is a wooden bed frame. All right, so here's the link. There's a whole training series. Slope. Okay. I'm getting lost in my own thoughts, but contributor training. This contributor training has been referred to by Kavitha, who you just heard from, quite a bit. Kavitha has been running a program every Friday for those that want to be certified on as a Meshery contributor. There's a CNCF certification. It's a Meshery contributor certification. This training series here, this pre-recorded series, is excellent study material. There's also the study hall that Kavitha has been running. She just got done completing its first full loop. And so Kavitha, I think one of the items that you're following up on is each of those recordings over the last 8 weeks or so. It sounds like, does it make sense to put a playlist of those on the Meshery YouTube channel?
Yeah, I think that would be actually better because I'm not sure how much beneficial it will be like to conduct it uh, in a loop every week. Um, so I think that one club. Plus, I was actually also having this discussion with Ronak, and we were thinking like if we could have a training series from, sorry, a training session from Yash related to the relationships and models. We could actually attach that video also, record a video also to the playlist so that it would be beneficial for people.
Yeah.
So we were actually thinking like Ronak and I could be the facilitators for a session in upcoming Friday if uh, um, Yash is actually available to conduct that series. It could be that workshop that we were thinking for relationships.
Yeah, and I had a discussion with Ronak and Kavita too, so I'll be definitely preparing slides, guiding slides for the session that we'll be having on Friday. And yeah, I'm ready for that also. And yeah, again, I think we need to raise an issue related to request the uh, sessions on GitHub. Like I need to create that issue, or like I just have to post it on discussion forum or like that.
Yeah. Are you asking about creating an issue to ensure that we post the study hall recordings?
No, actually, I noticed that there is a issue template, request for the contributor training series or like that. I don't exactly remember the word there. But so do I need to raise that issue to like before the session, or like I can just prepare slides and present it on Friday?
Yeah, it'll help if you raise the issue. I mean, I think in part because right now I don't know that there are any additional recurring is there a meeting on the calendar for this Friday?
Yeah, we have an entry in the community calendar for certified mastery contributor.
Yeah.
Okay. So cool. So we don't need an issue for that. If we were gonna, tell people about it or try to get a tweet or something out, I mean, like being organized with an issue sort of always helps, like to attract stuff. But I think there's one thing you'll want to make sure. There's a lot to cover on relationships, so it's a juicy topic. It's a great thing. You'll want to make sure that you've had enough time to prepare, or like that you've got slides that you're following and you've got examples as you go through, that you're following this.
Yeah.
If you guys want to persist that as part of the contributor training, if you're just wanting to persist it as part of the study hall recordings, then it's probably not as stringent of review process. But so do you do you have a slide deck already, or is that something you're thinking of working towards, or you are not going to use one this time?
No, I don't have any slide prepared yet. I'll be preparing them. And
Okay.
since it will be on authoring authoring the relationships, as you mentioned in community channel also, like you said that we are in need to host a workshop on authoring relationships. So it is based on that. So I hope that I'll be just like as since I will be showing like how we can author the relationships. So we are in just need of the guiding slides regarding the semantics or like theoretical part that we have on Meshery relationships, like what the types, kinds, and subtypes, and what is the meaning of the fields that we used in actually the schema of relationships. What does they mean? What is their significance, and all those things. So I can do that. Like I can do that the slide part even like before of Friday. So that's what's going on my mind.
And one thing I would actually suggest from my experience conducting the study hall is that if you feel the topic is actually quite big, it's better to split it to multiple days so that it will be easier to follow through. At any moment, I think it's better not to rush through the um, presentation. Maybe we need to actually filter out at least 5 or 10 minutes for questions, and keep that in mind while preparing. That's just one suggestion from my end.
Yeah, I mean, to follow on what Kavitha was just saying is that, like, in context of relationships, it's it's hard not to discuss Meshery models as well and components, or like you have to a certain degree. There is a contributor training on models, and so as you think about whether it's multiple training sessions or how to split up the topics. You might reference the slides here to see at least one take on how that was divvied up. So yeah, because that was a mouthful that you'd said, Yash, about like what you were sort of thinking aloud, and I think looking for affirmation of the potential scope of what you're going to talk about. It was a mouthful. And so, yeah, to Kavitha's point, perhaps there's a break in the middle somewhere where it's split. Good. Any other thoughts on that?
I was actually wondering about one thing. There was this suggestion from Ronak and you earlier to have some fortnightly or monthly deep dive sessions on various aspects of Meshery. Um, anyway, we would have to uh, uh, change the community calendar to reflect that. I was thinking whether we could uh, we could use the same time slot that is available for certified Meshery contributor study hall to conduct that. Uh, because there are a lot of new people here, and we are actually having internships and all somewhere down the line. We need like specific topics, just simple topics we can pick up, and we can actually present it to everybody who is attending it, so that it's easier to hear from the horse's mouth sometimes rather than reading through 10 pages, I would say.
Yeah. Who did? Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
want to Yes,
Mm.
just want to say something when Kavita was saying, just like I'm thinking out loud, maybe. So please let me know your feedback. So when Kavita was saying that maybe some presentations, so how about if we can the new contributors? Like I'm considering myself as well. So I think if uh, like you people of course will be there, so maybe a smaller topic, something that I have learned, maybe from the starting day till the particular date, let's say till this month, whatever I have learned in Meshery. So can we have something, some kind of slot for that, that yes, new contributors, if they want to talk about something about their journey, or some kind of presentation they want to make, they can do. I think the, like from my perspective, I think it will be very engaging for me to share my knowledge, and also to know that where I belong, from the knowledge perspective, how much I have learned. So yes, I'm just like thinking out loud, if that makes any sense.
Anybody have any feedback, thoughts? So Ghana, if you have video, or for everybody on the call, if you have video, turn it on. Let's connect, especially if you're thinking of presenting or speaking. It's a requirement that those that present or speak do have video up. So Yash, if you're thinking about doing something on Friday, and you guys can offer up any excuse that you want to right now. I don't care what it is, so I don't need to hear it. But if you're here, be here. Like, and especially if you're going to present, it's a requirement. You gotta have video.
I
But so
mean,
just if you're going to speak to the video stuff, do you have something else to say other than about the video?
I didn't get about the video that what you were saying.
Your webcam, turn it on.
Okay, I think
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
in.
Cool. Very good. Yeah. Audio, video on Zoom. Like, can you hear me? Can you guys see me? Can you see my screen sharing? Yeah. So anyway, all I'm saying is if people are going to present, yeah.
Got it.
Perfect. Does anybody have any feedback or thoughts about what Sulgana had said?
I think it's a very good idea to actually connect with the mentors about what you have learned, and it might as well show that there might be some mistakes in what we assume to be right and all of these things. So according to me, it's a very good idea.
Cool. Anybody else?
I would just like to suggest maybe if you could schedule an Ask Me Anything session with maybe the maintainers like once a month or something, and then that's more beneficial, and it's anyone can ask questions pertaining to anything, and it will help further understand the project.
Cool.
I have one suggestion. I have written that ideally the back half of the newcomers meeting is uh, um, ideal for this one, but I am not sure considering that we have a lot of content to cover when it comes to newcomers meeting, and sometimes we end up whoever is presenting they end up talking for like 45 minutes or to 50 minutes about the content. So I'm not sure whether we can club this there. Rather, I was thinking if we could actually use the time slot, which is half hour later for the CMC, modify it on the calendar to have to be the AMA session that Daniel was just suggesting. That would be easier. We do have a time slot. We just have to rename that to and repurpose it for our use.
Yes, like not in the newcomers, it will be like very much clustered together. That, and these two things are completely different agenda. So I'm not talking about in the newcomer meeting, but you suggested about a fortnight, like once in a month, engagement community event kind of thing, where maybe a small meet up online, and people can talk about when you suggested that a particular topic, any of the member wants to share. So in there, if also there will be a slot for the maybe the newcomer. This is not like mandatory, but if somebody wants to come up and wants to talk about something that they have learned about, or a talk, a minute talk, let's say 15 minutes at max session, they have learned from maybe the beginner's point perspective or something like that, that can encourage others as well, other newcomers as well. So I think I'm talking from that perspective, not in the existing timeline.
Yeah, in some respects, uh, yeah, in some respects, there's a proposal for a community meeting. Like this, the meeting that we're having now, the typical agenda is, well, so the default agenda ends up being a lot about pull requests and issues, or like code and some pull requests and some feedback on things that people have worked on. And that's wonderful. Anyway, there's so many topics for Meshery. There's so many things to go. There's like, hey, who's running the Twitter feed? Or hey, when's our next or who have we most recently recognized about having gotten a certification? Or hey, what's the status of Meshery's incubation proposal? Like, or hey, are we doing a roadmap review? Or when is that next release? Or like, there's like, oh my goodness, it's work just to list them all out, because I barely started to list them out. Actually, there's a lot. So one thing to be aware of, that just a quick check to make sure I don't misspeak, but it's been a while, but something, oh no, Mr. Sharma is with us. So I was going to say it was something that predates anyone else on the, well, Mr. Whitney, Hussein is with us. So never mind, I can't say this. Anyway, so there's a few of you on the call that will remember that some time ago, oh gosh, we used to have a weekly community meeting. Actually, it was on Fridays, about the same time as the study hall that we have right now, just about. So we used to have, there's about four oh geez. At one point there was 5 recurring meetings. Meshery was sort of in full swing. But there were 4 that would go on fairly routinely. And so it's worth, since we don't have a different forum for discussing like meeting agendas and community-centric things, it's appropriate for us to interject for a moment and have this discussion, because otherwise we'll never get a forum for doing it and like breaking out into something else. So it used to be that, holy smokes, maybe there was like 6 different recurring meetings, I don't know. So we have sort of a front-end centric websites, or we call it websites, meeting on Mondays. And in the community, within Meshery, I'm not sure how many front ends there are in Meshery explicitly, maybe about 8 front ends and websites, dedicated domains, dedicated sites, or subdomains of Meshery. So an example being shapes.meshery.io. And actually, I'm hoping we'll go over potentially a whole new example today, schemas.meshery.io. Maybe there's a couple of people working on that. Anyway, back on point, we've got a dedicated meeting for that because there's a ton in there. We've got one for Meshery Dev. In the dev meeting, we don't take time for architectural review or design review or spec review. We don't take time for grooming the backlog or planning the roadmap or quite a few things. Point is, yeah, between the description of what Solgana has just suggested, the fact that the newcomers meeting is kind of packed as it is, like it's enough just trying to introduce everybody to the different projects, get people to start to get comfortable with asking questions and saying the 3 words, I don't know, and then starting to learn with the rest of us, and getting their first pull request merged on the meeting is full. In the past, it wasn't quite as full. And so we would try to use the latter half of that meeting to have a specific topic and cover a specific topic there. Because the first half would be sort of routine, the same topic, weekly. Anyway, it's full. That makes sense. We've had a study hall going on for those that want to get certified. It's pretty awesome. I still want us to figure out even better ways to celebrate those that have been certified. I think it's really pretty cool. A community meeting, part of Solgana's description of it. Well, it is complementary, but slightly distinct from part of what Kavitha was highlighting. These both might fit into the same meeting time. It might just be slightly different agendas or slightly different topics or formats, rather, week to week. One of them might be sort of an open share that someone's coming and doing, and maybe they're talking about the fact that they've worked on the shapes.meshery.io website and how to use the shapes, and they're just sort of explaining whether they've worked on it or not. Maybe they're just interested and they want to share about how they created a new shape and that sort of a thing. Or, a different type of agenda, but maybe something that fits into the same time slot, the same calendar meeting, is like Kavitha was saying, and a bit like what Daniel was saying. Actually, Daniel's example is maybe also just fits into that community meeting. I think I'm kind of going round and round, like Daniel said, and ask me anything with maintainers. That'd be super helpful. That'd be nice. Sort of an unscripted thing that we're having right now where Lee won't shut up, so don't invite me to and ask me anything. We'll be in trouble. Anyway, point is, I'll stop and just say that, hey, that makes total sense to me. Something that I guess the only question I have is like, oh, should that be in addition to this standing meeting, or should this standing time slot be renamed? I guess is the question that I would put to you all. Something to think about. Good. So no doubt those that have spoken up. Actually, one thing that might be helpful is as you go to form the agenda and as you go to call for potential future topics and sort of get an agenda scheduled out, with a couple of either that you might send out an email to developers at meshery.io, or maybe post on the discussion forum about the fact that the community meeting is coming back and, we're looking for topics. All right, I get the sense that a couple of you are are having some fun at my expense. Are you guys taking bets right now on just how long I will just monologue? Is that what's going on? Okay. Okay, well, I'll just keep whoever. Okay, fine. All right, well, hey, let's get into our next topic if we could. So Sarthak, this is your first time on the meeting, I think. Welcome. And I guess you got a topic that you want to share since it's your first time on. Just thanks for having your video up, and what the format, if you're sharing about an issue or a pull request, you want to share your screen or get people, explain what you're going to talk about, kind of take people through it.
Yeah, sure. I will do that. 1 minute.
All right. While that's getting prepared, the next topic up is from Matthew. So Matthew's not with us today, but it sounds like Pagalva, maybe you'll speak on his behalf.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Sarthak, back to you.
Yeah, I'm starting the sharing.
Three, two, one. Okay, we will circle back to you, my friend, when you find that screen share button. Next up is another newcomer, actually. So do we have, I'm going to take back the screen share because you missed it. Mr. Sarthak, we'll come back to you, Mr. Basu. Do you have do we have this individual on the call? Maramin Jan? Oh yeah. There he is.
Hi, Lee. Hi, everybody. I'm Madam John. I'm currently working on collection of 11 Meshery Go adapters to structure the Golang lint configurations. So,
Yeah, Maramin Jan, are you in a position to share your screen? You want to share your screen and take people through
yeah,
it?
awesome. Now, share. Okay, this is my screen. This is. This is my old work. I open pull requests 11. My speaking
Yes.
is bad.
Yes.
Sorry for this.
Okay.
It's my first time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, here, let me help you out if I could. Would that be okay if I walk through it with you?
Please, can you
Yeah, okay.
give me what I'm doing, what I do?
Yeah, sure. Let me jump in and great. So you've been working on restructuring and standardizing our configuration of a
Yeah.
linting program for Golang. The kind
Yeah,
of like
yeah.
nice. And then so you've been trying to standardize it across the great number of maybe 10 or so Meshery adapter
11.
repos.
11.
11. Nice. And so wonderful. One of the things that we've, as a project, have decided that we don't care for is a particular rule that is, I think, configured by default in the Golang CI lint tool. And that is this rule. It's ST 1005. In our error codes, when we give it an error message, and you see the error message either on the standard out or actually modern engine, if you don't mind, I'm gonna.
Your microphone is closed, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Do you mind muting for just a moment? The gentlemen in the background don't know that you're on a meeting or don't care, and so they're having their own discussion. That and if you can't tell, I'm easily distracted when someone else says something, and so then we'll never make it through. So anyway, Madam Injin, thanks for doing this. When Meshery as a project codifies an error, when an error occurs in Golang, we have a standard error code library. It's in Meshkit. That's the name of the library that we use. There's a repository out there called Meshkit. Anyway, it spits out errors. All of our Golang spits out errors. So does our JavaScript. And when we do, we try to assign an error code number. And anyway, we try to format the sentences and the information, the English that comes through those errors in grammatically correct ways. So we will capitalize the first letter of the sentence of the error code. It's whatever it says. Anyway, when we do that, when we capitalize that first word in the sentence, Golang lint CI complains. And there's logic for why it does, but we've decided to ignore it. And so you're helping us ignore that across the repos. Wonderful, very good. Thank you for putting this on the meeting minute. And do you have anything
Thank
else you want to talk about this? Yeah.
Okay, I had one small suggestion with this. Like those we have like lots of workflows like this where it's basically like the same workflow that's copied across different repos with some like parameters change and we want to reuse the configuration file. Maybe we should just have the workflow in Meshery and maybe just reuse that then in all of these other repos and just do I think workflow call or something. So we reuse the workflow. And so whenever we make change, we just need to make it one place. Yeah, just a suggestion. Maybe you might look into that or see if that's helpful.
Ian Whitney might have something to say about that. There was a dedicated meeting to reviewing all of the workflows that we have and how much they overlap, what their purpose is, if some of them are antiquated. So that's just a good. I'm calling that out so that Ian might consider whether or not that's helpful. Or
I definitely think we should push for reuse. And even I don't know if Meshery is the right repo to put everything into. That everything else is calling, but maybe a dedicated repo just with some workflows and that sort of thing in there. But yeah, definitely reuse would be probably a good thing to do.
right. Any other feedback or
I think like putting the workflows in a dedicated repo would be much more versatile across, because like in my experience, you have to change again, like it was said before, you have to change it in one place and every other caller workflow just uses the changed values. I'll say just +1. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Nice. Just one place, Ian, and I'll say this, but then feel free to correct me. There is an open issue on this very topic of trying to, wrap our arms around all of the workflows and understanding which one is testing what at what time and how much is it covering and in what way is it covering. A lot of it's about building the software or testing the software, but not all of the workflows are. There is an open issue on this topic. There's been a report written, I think, by Mauricio. Oh, yeah. Ian, is this an appropriate place to point people who might either want to help or have a voice in?
Yep. Yeah, I know that's a great spot to put in where things are, where you're seeing maybe some areas where we can benefit from, some attention to detail and call to action here. We can definitely kind of organize around that issue and continue to do that. But yeah, so for the individual that put up all these PRs, maybe that's the next step, is just to go review that, kind of read over, and then see what you might see fit as far as trying to wrangle all those 11 different areas into maybe one, and then do a reusable call from there. But
yeah, part of that is the security implication of the cross repo invocation. Do you know Whitney, or Whitney, Ian, in general, does that afford us a little more security if we are, invoking remotely? Or
just speaking off the top, I mean, I don't necessarily know, but I do think if we have a call, like if you fork it, you can't change that, workflow, and then you're in your forked branch because it's in a separate repo, right? So I'm going to presume yes, but I don't necessarily, I don't have the documents on hand to kind of back that up, but I would assume that it's a yes, and because we can lock it down and that can have different permissions. I think we can even just have it where only certain other repos can call it. So again, I think there's some settings that we can leverage there, but
very good. Any other thoughts on the topic of workflow cleanup. I'll
Actually, I
say,
think like one thing, like if we create a separate workflow repo or something, because like I think last time we discussed Google, because like the mesh extensions when it's getting cluttered and we run all of the actions there, maybe we would use that repo to also run our kind of common actions and other things that we would write a mesh extensions for, or sorry, mesh extension packages.
yeah, it's a good, it requires a little bit of thought. Like some of that makes it a bit more difficult for LLMs to try to figure out what's going on. Some of it makes it more difficult to make sure that you're propagating the right secrets across, or that those have. And then depending upon how they're invoked, it can make it a little more difficult to trace down where the failure was in a particular, for a particular CI check. There can be a lot of positives to it. Anyway, it has to be written down so that it can be, kind of the pros and cons kind of. There are one of the points that Abid just made, I don't know that we had highlighted last time we spoke on this topic, but just yesterday, I was working on enhancing one of the workflows in Meshery schemas in that repo. In Meshery schemas, those schemas are consumed by, they're published from Meshery schemas from the repo. There's a bundle and a package created, and we publish that package to different places. Publish it to npmjs.org as an npm package. We also implicitly publish it to golang.org, but we explicitly publish the packages to a couple of REST API docs sites. So there's one on Meshery docs, there's one on layer 5 docs, and that's an extension point. Anyone else who wants to receive a copy of the Meshery schemas package can come and just sign up to be notified and have that package pushed to them. And to Abid's point, because Meshery is an extensible platform, different components and different organizations that have written plugins want to be notified when a particular release happens or when a particular package is available. And that's an extension point within the project. And it would be nice. In about 3 different ways, we have 3 different styles of extension points, I think, in the workflows for how it is that someone else gets notified. Sure, it'd be nice if there was one way that it's not that big of a pain, but it would be nice if for nothing else that we're just explicitly highlighting this is an extension point. If you want to be notified, subscribe here or register your info here. That is, by the way, that's one of the topics that's facing Meshery's incubation review as it goes under review for moving levels from sandbox to incubation in the CNCF, is to help clarify where what's an extension and what's core. I think is part of what people are looking for clarity in. Most notably, it's something like Canvas, where I think it's not. Yeah, we should talk about this for a moment. Some individuals that look at the project strive for clarity on Canvas being an extension, or like, I don't know, they understand it's an extension. I have to go look at some of the feedback. I'm not entirely, but like that's actually what we say is like Meshery is the extensible Kubernetes manager. You say it right here. So it has extensions every which way. These widgets are intended to be extensions. They are extensions. These are extensions. You can load up any number of models or don't. And so, geez, man, that's the first thing we talk about here is the extension points, actually. So, my goodness. Anyway, I think because of Canvas's nature of being as powerful as it is, maybe, and as intriguing as it is, or the thing that a lot of us talk about and sort of look at designs within, it becomes so front and center in people's minds as like, oh, that's what Meshery is. And so, well, no, I mean that, there's anyway, we have to strive for clarity, strive for. I'll certainly be focused on that. Please come and see me if you guys find areas that you don't think are clear, or that where we're conflating two things, or it's not self-evident that these are extensions, this is core, this is a vendor, this is not, this is a user, these are, Wow. All right. So next up is Sarab. If you're on the call. Nope. All right. Next up is Suryansh.
Yeah, hello everyone. So, may I share my screen?
Please.
Oh, yeah, so I made an issue where in the root folder of Meshery CTL, the Cobra on uh, uh, initializes the init config. And since there are multiple commands in Meshery CTL like write commands, statelets command like version, and the read only commands. So not all these commands needs the configuration. Statelets command don't need any configuration, and read commands they need it, but they don't need to mutate it. And the write commands they also may need to mutate the configuration. So uh, so there was this issue. Yeah.
Actually, like, is this
I
like
made a PR around it.
initializing configuration of Cobra or like the init config command for Meshery, like initializing Meshery? Well, like
Yeah,
each command is targeting.
yeah, it's just targeting the uh, all the commands in
Okay,
Meshery
like
CTL.
it's like setting up Cobra, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here there's no behavior change. So in this uh, yeah. So in the root folder, I removed the init logic. From the init logic, I introduced two new functions: needs mutation, and what was it? Needs mutation and init configuration. In the init function, I introduced these functions, and I have moved that logic into a separate into the config folder as mutate.go. And in the next PR, what I am planning is to call these functions explicitly in each the mutate command and remove that cobra on initialize init config completely. And for other commands like stateless command and need command, I will be doing the same. But for the stateless command, I have a question like whether should we in the root.go should we make a persistent pre-running in which we skip the uh, init, init config for stateless command, or should we in specifically in each stateless command we manually skip it?
You want to offer justification as to why you would suggest one over the next? Yes, Suryansh, you're asking a question, right? And so do you have a perspective?
Yeah, so I'm leaning towards like since there will be many stateless command maybe coming in future, so I have an inclination of uh, putting the stateless command in
Why does it matter if it's stateless or stateful?
because stateless command do not need any config. And here, like in the status issue, these commands were needing config. So that version command shouldn't need any config. So that's my POV.
POE, point of, what's POE?
A point of view.
Oh, POV, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You should just do, it's not overcomplicated, just every single command should be initialized. If there's no config, if we don't initialize, then we shouldn't run commands. There's no optimization. We're just like over optimizing, trying to figure out, is it stateless or is it not? Does the version require a config or not? Sure, it could be ignored, but actually the version command, what does it do?
It just shows up the what serial version we are running. So
Yes, it
it
does. And
doesn't
what
need
else
the
does it do?
that I don't know.
Shows the server version that you're connected to. What does
Yeah.
Meshery CTL need in order to communicate to the server? A config, right? So that
Yeah.
command needs the config as well. So like, no, no, the answer is no to your question. Like, no, you should just initialize it. It should be standard. We shouldn't think about it. Doesn't hurt anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we should just do it when we set up Cobra and we use it.
So,
I think
what's
yeah, go on. Sorry.
so should I proceed with using a persistent pre-running?
So like keep it like the part where you are just kind of extract the functionality into separate file to make it smaller. That's good. But other than that, like don't change any logic of like where we are checking for. Don't add any guards to see like if you need mutation or anything like that. Just like this part where you extracted it into a function and just keep it that small.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. Any other feedback?
Yeah, I'll just add few context here. So the changes that are in this particular PR, it does say that needs mutation, and there are two functions, need mutation and init default config. These may seem like they are doing the checking for need mutation, like what Shreyans was saying, but they are just pulling the logic out from the existing function, and they are not changing any behavior. They are just separating the same logic into two things, which was already being done. If that makes sense, yeah. So no additional behavioral logic has been introduced or changed. So it has been just pulled and like separated into two functions that represent what was being checked previously. If that makes sense.
And just like from the diff, it's like there's lots of new changes and there's removed. So yeah, try to just
Yeah,
don't change it.
new files have been introduced, but yeah, like no behavioral changes, I would say, like as far as things are concerned. It introduces some tests for sure, like for the new functions that has been introduced, but no behavioral changes.
Cool. All right, Sujay. Oh, is Sujay. I wonder if bandwidth has gotten in the way, or we just can't hear your voice at the moment.
Hello. Now, am I
Yep.
audible?
Hmm?
Okay. Yeah. So this is regarding the related to the schemas website which you had mentioned earlier. So the bit of background: the contributing schemas page in the in the Meshery docs had to be refactored. It needed a
Sunji, you're
bit
not
of
like sharing your
simplification.
screen properly. It's the Zoom. You're not sharing your browser, I think.
Should be visible now.
Yeah, the screen share is working. It's just that people have to look at my ugly mug or Abid's beautiful face, one of the two, instead of yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I switched back to the check the sharing, and right now it should be on the issue page on the GitHub.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, so in Meshery docs, the contributing schemas page had to be refactored. It needed simplification, and it was a very long page. And what I proposed was to break it down into smaller like components and divide it into like basically covering all of the parts, how they are written, validated, and versioned. And a lot of information was not present in the documentation. It was in the readme files or the agents.md file. So those information also had to be included, and it needed reorganization. So it would be useful for a contributor also who's just looking around in the docs to quickly find what they need, and if they're starting to work with Meshery schemas. So this is sort of the I divided into sub pages, and I opened a PR regarding this, and it's open for review. I'm sure there would be improvements people can suggest, and there is some examples also included within the docs that include the best practices and what the naming and casing rules to follow and all of those things. So yeah, I would like to ask people to present to the call to review this, and yeah, provide your suggestions based on it. This is somewhat it would look like. It's divided into like just the index way. It will guide you basically what you're looking for, and you can go on to the sub pages based on what you're looking at. Yeah, that's about it regarding this issue.
Hey, something we'll want to avoid if we can is the listing out of like the Golang version number that we're using. Just don't list it. Tell people to look it up in go.mod or somewhere else, because it just becomes, it's already old. That's already inaccurate, actually. And so
Yeah, it should be 1.25. Yeah.
yeah, or it should be not listed.
Okay. Yeah, we'll make that change.
Oh,
And
thank you.
just say like it requires Golang and then have a link to the version that we're using or something like link to the go.mod or something.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess same for like Node and other things like while we are showing those prerequisites.
Yeah, basically for it should go for all dependencies that are there.
Other feedback and thoughts? We're racing the clock. It's really helpful to have that centralized, how what the schemas are and how to work with them. And just a quick question: as you were doing the topic on, like, you had one listed on relationships, I think. It's just you're just explaining like, if to the extent that you're explaining any specific construct, that hopefully there's a bunch of hyperlinks over to the other pages in the docs that take people through the concept.
Yes, and to the actual like YAML files also in the Git repo, so they can look up what the constructs are present in right now,
Okay.
and
One
what do
thing
they
to-
look like.
Okay, very good. Maybe with AI here, it won't be as big of a deal, but in general, when you hyperlink like that, we're just asking for broken hyperlinks at some point. Like, or just try to make sure that you're hyperlinking at a relatively high level so that yeah, they don't break. Because it's the same concept with like the Golang version number. Like you will always be wrong, or like you'll always be broken. So all right, good. So we got Rajesh and Alex wanted to throw in a quick word. We're just over time. Alex, the topic of what you wanted to chat on is what?
Yes. Hello.
Alex?
Hello, hello.
There he is.
For those I haven't had a chance to meet yet, I am Alexander, a new contributor. My English isn't perfect, so I'll try to keep this brief. Apologize in advance. Yes. Right now I'm working on adding PostgreSQL support for Meshery alongside the existing SQL setup as part of issue 17.099. I've managed to get Meshery running locally and have put together a draft implementation. The database connection is in place and the model mapping is working. But the database isn't being related yet due to PostgreSQL's stricter requirements for incoming data. So I am still running into a number of errors.
Alexander, let me interrupt for a second. Hey, thanks a bunch. Hey, it's great to have you. And I hate to have to interrupt. It's just, we're over time, and we're just it is a wonderful problem that we have as a project that we oh shoot, I just skipped over Rajesh. I skipped over Ranak. Poor Sarthik is back here wondering why Lee is such a jerk and didn't wait for him. Anyway, if we can, let's get your topic and Rajesh and Ranak and Sarthik, all of your topics scheduled up for next week. You guys don't have to wait until next week to go over them. Be annoying if you want to, or like message in Slack, every day, every 2 hours, you want to be as be as annoying at your own risk. But like,
I see.
yeah, I hate to interrupt it. Just like I do this or I allow this to happen, and some people they have already dropped because they had to go do something else. But if I thought you maybe just had if you've got a full topic to review, we won't do it justice, and then you'll be dissatisfied that way as well. Would it be okay if we got you slated for next week to go over this?
Yes, no problem.
Thank you. And then Alex, in the meantime, did you already send word on this in the Slack? If you haven't, please do. Like,
okay.
One thing that I highly encourage you and Sarthik and Ranak and Rajesh, the other individuals who have topics that we won't be able to get to, is to just do a quick Zoom recording or do a quick whatever recording if you like in the same way that you would have presented it just now. Go ahead and record it and then shoot it out into the discussion forum or into Slack, either way, and then that way you don't let the lack of meeting time slow you down. You still get that message across. People can listen to it and don't make it a 45-minute seminar. Make it
Yes, I see.
Hey, your English is coming across really well for me. I'm hearing your English very well. No problem here. So that's good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Again, man, I hate to interrupt. Like I know it sucks to somebody to speak over you and then you interject, but it's nice to have Alexander. So it's not Alex, it's Alexander. So good, okay.
Thank you.
Удачи вам, Александр.
А кто это?
Это я, Мадамиджи.
Приятно познакомиться. Nice to
By the
meet
way, while we're going, it's Marminjan, right? Did I say it correctly?
Yeah.
Alexander Marminjan. Okay, very good. A couple of
Listen.
got some Russians on the call. Am I saying my Russian correctly?
I'm from Uzbekistan.
Oh, okay. Good. More geography that I don't know. Okay, great. Hey guys, did we miss anything? So we're at the end of the meeting. Is there any call outs that people needed to make before we conclude? So we've got the newcomers meeting on Friday. We've got, it sounds like we've got Yash Mahakal lined up for a deep dive into relationships on Friday as well. That'll be super interesting. Wonderful. Also, one of one of the individuals who's doing an internship currently, many of you have seen or know of Ranak, who's on the call. Ranak graduated from school today, from university. I just
Yeah.
wanted to try to, just want to embarrass him to the extent that I can. Congrats, man. Yeah, okay.
Thank you
Good.
so much.
Next phase of life. No more excuses about, this exam, you got to study for that, and this and nope.
Oh,
Strict.
but I still had the final exams. The graduation was
Oh,
just
okay. Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah. All right. Right. Okay. Probably a follow-up exam, a few days, and like another one, a follow-up after that. Okay. Congrats on school. Good. Awesome, man. Awesome. Anybody else graduating this week or next week? Oh, Barath. Oh my gosh. So you're about to graduate. All right. Oh, okay. Congrats, man. No more exams. It's a very sad day. The last day that someone's going to force you to read a book. Hopefully you'll have that self-discipline to continue to read a book after this, because anyway, great. Hey, it's very nice to see you all. By the way, for some of the maintainers on the call, I'm sure that the attendees would love to have someone else host, so you don't have to listen to me. That goes for Jay as well. So those that have been around for a while and kind of get comfortable with the agenda and facilitating, there are better facilitators out there than me. And so Kavitha is here. She's all right. All right. Well, hey, thanks everybody. That's a wrap. We'll catch you on Friday. Yeah.
Goodbye.
Thank you.